Okay, so today we are going to go over Google Data Studio since I talked about that last week on my TikTok, and we are going to create a Animal Crossing dashboard. And what you need for this project today is a Gmail account where you can log into Google Data Studio, and that is completely free. You just need to sign up for it and access to the Kaggle Animal Crossing dataset. And all of this you can find on my website. If you head on over to brittanycodes.com, there is a link for dashboards, and you will find this new post that I just created yesterday. And, let's get started. So, the first thing that we're going to do is download our Animal Crossing dataset. And so this is here. We have our Animal Crossing New Horizons catalog. This is a comprehensive inventory of a lot of different items that is within Animal Crossing, and I found this on Kaggle. You can use any data set, to be honest. I just decided to go a little bit fun with this project, so we are going to continue and move along. And this is where you can download it. So I'm going to download this data set. It is an archive zipped folder because it contains so many data sets. All of the different, items are within different CSV files. So once you have that downloaded, we are actually going to use the housewares CSV file. Once that is downloaded, we're going to head on over to Google Data Studio. And as you can see, I have already designed this dashboard. And so that's what you will find on my website, the final product of this dashboard. But let's create a blank report. And so you might have to just set up a couple of items here, like where you're from, so that you are connected to the right server. And you can see here that we have different connectors for the Google Data Studio. You can do Google Sheets, BigQuery, different analytics here, but we are going to just do a regular file upload. And I have already previously loaded this, but I'm going to select my housewares.csv file. And I'm going to add that in. And so one of the things that I first like to do when I am trying to design a new dashboard is kind of outline everything that's going to go on my dashboard. So I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. But just to familiarize yourself with Google Data Studio, as I mentioned, it is super easy to use. I have no experience with this, but just as long as you have a background within data analytics, or at least you've started working on dashboarding and designing, this is what you can use to create and get started for your projects, your data projects. So I'm going to name my dashboard first, and that's at the very top. Super easy. Just type in the name of your dashboard here. And I'm going to give you a quick runaround of how Google Data Studio works. At the very top, you have all of your different options. You also have several selectors that you can create here. You can add in more data, you can add in charts, add a control. And so the data itself is going to be on the right side. Typically, that's pretty normal. It's always on the right side. And you can see all of the available fields that I have here from the Houseware CSV file. After that, we can also view at the very top that we have here some share options, or I can actually click on view and see the dashboard that I'm creating here. So I'm going to go back to edit. I'm going to start off with outlining where I'm going to start adding things. And so I want to add a logo here, maybe something that has to do with the Animal Crossing. And then I'm also going to add in another text box here, another square rectangle shape here that we can add in for the title. This is where I'm going to add my title information. And then I'm going to leave this open because I want to add in my filters up there. And at the very bottom here, I'm just going to add in different things here. So this is what I typically do. And then it starts to really, change itself as we move along. So if you are new to dashboarding, this is a really great way to get started onto it. And do you see how all of these red target lines tell you how close you are? And so it kind of gives you an idea of where you should probably outline that. So I'm going to just delete these since I'm not going to do the full, dashboarding experience here, but let's start and get started. Let's get started with adding our filters. So I'm going to add a control and a drop down list here. And so you can kind of see how that's going to look like. I'm going to just outline that to the end of my little rectangle here, and then just shorten this up so I can add various filters. And then I'm going to just copy that over. And again, you can see that I'm able to equally organize that so that it looks even and it doesn't look, out of place. And then once I'm done with this, I actually am going to select all of these and then just, outline that all the way to the very end, make sure that that's even, and we're good here. So now to change the filters, we do see that we have the item name here. I'm going to select on it and you'll see this, crossbow here. And at the very right where it says data, you have a control field. And so I'm going to start adding my filter options. In this case, I'm going to add color as one of them. And I don't want it to say color 1. So I'm going to actually click on the pencil icon on the left side of it and just rename that as color. And you can actually change the type of this field. So if it was a number, I could have, changed that to a number if I wanted to display something different like a percent. Same thing, I'm going to start adding different dimensions here, and I'm going to add in, let's go ahead and do catalog. Yes, so this is a good one since I'm able to see like what is for sale, what's not for sale, and what's not in the catalog. And then same thing here, I'm going to add in the buy price or the cost of the item. So I have that here, and then I'm going to just name this as the cost. And I'm seeing that it's marking this as like a ABC format. So I'm actually going to go and change that field into the correct format. So I'm going to head on over to resource and then manage added data sources. And I'm going to edit the CSV file that I have. Right next to the by option, you can see that you have the different types of each field or your data source. And I'm going to just change this into a numeric since this is going to showcase my cost for the items. So this is good. And while I'm at it, I want to also just confirm that the sell price is also in a number format, which it is. And then I'm going to create a new field. So at the very top, add a field. And this is just going to be a simple calculation. I'm going to just, get the profit of the sell price here. So buy minus, and I'm going to do sell here. And then it'll give you the check mark at the very bottom. You can even do format formula and it'll, fix that up for you. And then click save. Once that is saved, I'm going to just click on done because I don't need anything else from this data source. And this should be in the correct format. Yeah, you see now this is a number format. Now let me just change this last filter into something else. And I'm gonna just go ahead and click on the sell price here. And same thing, I'm gonna just leave this as, the cost of it. And then I'm gonna just change this into something else. So sell cost. Sorry, sell price. All right, this looks good. Now we're going to start adding our chart. So to do that, you're going to click on add a chart. And I'm going to just click a table here. I want to add in a table of all of the items that are available within the Housewares CSV file. So I'm going to just make this a little bit longer. And then I'm going to just do this. So there are a couple of visualization options that you have on Google Data Studio. And I don't want it to show this, the row numbers. I'm going to go and change that up and then also remove the record count. So to do that, we're going to go to the right side again. Under the style, I'm going to go down here to the bottom and remove row numbers. And I also don't want it to be this pagination. So I just want it to be like a horizontal scrolling, sorry, vertical scrolling. And yeah, here we go, vertical scrolling. This is horizontal, which actually we may need if we add in more fields here, but I'm going to include the name of the item. So this is going to change into the name. So now we do have this, and I'm going to just remove the metric of record count so that we just have a full list of all of the items in the housewares category. I'm also going to do the buy price and also the sell price. And with that being said, I'm going to also include my profit. So I want to know if there is actually a profit. I don't like how it shows this null field here. So I'm going to go back into the style, come down here a little bit longer. All right. Right here in this section where it says missing data, we have show null. We're going to just go ahead and do show 0. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, and then once we're good with that, I'm going to just make sure that I sort my names by ascending so that it is a little bit more organized, and it looks like we are good there. I just don't like that these columns are kind of everywhere, so I'm going to just click on this more button at the very top, and I'm going to resize columns and distribute evenly. All right, that looks way better, looks a little bit more organized. If you do have a couple of fields that are, a little bit longer, then you might just want to, get that here and just change it up a little bit. Okay, so we are good there, and we're going to add a pie chart. I want to know how many of these items are actually for sale, which are not in the catalog. So I'm going to add in a pie chart, which will easily let me visually see what is available, what isn't. And so in this case, I'm going to keep the record count, but now I'm going to just click on the dimension here and add the catalog. Okay, perfect. I can now see which one's for sale. So we do have, almost 57% of these items in the housewares category that is for sale. And then the not in catalog, you can see that there's a less than 1%. So this looks good. Now, I don't know about this theme. Like, it's very bland. I haven't really messed with the colors or anything. And so one of the quickest ways that you can do that is coming up here at the top where it says theme and layout. And when you click on that, you are actually opening up on the sidebar different themes that you have available here. So if I click on, some of these, you can see super easily that it changes like the text, the way that it's being displayed. And so this is a really neat feature that I've seen on Google Data Studio, that it's super easy to really just make it look nice. And so I'm gonna choose kind of a fun out, yeah, like this groovy theme. It looks good. It looks like an Animal Crossing theme. You can also customize your own theme. So if that is something you want to do, go right ahead. And this is a good start. So we can continue adding more, fields here. Another thing that I have seen is being able to add, like text here. So if I delete this because I finally want to add in my dashboard name, I'm going to just create this box here, make sure that it's aligned. Same thing here. So I'm going to just put in Animal Crossing dashboard. And then I want to actually change the size to this. So at the text properties, I'm going to just make this a little bit bigger. Let's do that. And then I actually want to stick with the theme. So background and border, let's see. Okay, so I want this. You can see that the theme has, the different colors already in your theme. So I'm gonna just leave it like that. And then let's just do the yellow. Let's keep this color. All right, looks good. So now we have our title for this. You can also add in different features like a pivot table, You can do a scorecard. So maybe if I wanted to just add like a quick little scorecard of how many items there are, you can see here that I have the record count. Same thing, right? If I want to change the layout to this, then I would just go to style and then, just change this to the middle here. All right. Well, we don't have a comparison, but yeah. And then maybe even change the padding to that. So let's see from the top, let's do 16. It's a little bit more. Here we go. So that looks good. I can even change the name to this if I wanted to change like number of items. So now we have something a little bit more visually appealing. We can see that's super quick. And then same thing, you can continue adding more pages. So if I wanted to add more onto this Animal Crossing dashboard, I can actually add a new page, and this will add in the second page. And you can see here in the report pages that I have two of them. Make sure to rename these. So if I wanted to rename this as my summary page, and then, or actually, no, this is my housewares. If I wanted to do, let's see, I don't know, bedroom, right? So once I go back to my housewares, and when I actually click on view, you can see that I can see both of my pages here at the very top, and then I can see my dashboard here. So super neat feature, like I said, not something that is difficult if you are new to data projects or you're trying to learn a little bit more about what it means to become a data analyst. This is what it really is, and Google Data Studio does a great way to get your feet wet into this without having to complicate things. So I really recommend you messing with this dashboard, messing with the data set, and really going into each setting to find out what others features there are available. For the most part, this is nothing compared to Microsoft Power BI or even Tableau, but like I said, it is super easy and a great way to get started. So have fun with this and enjoy. Bye.